Welcome to Run This Town with Mr. Ben Kinney. We're going to be answering and asking the question, who's going to run this town tonight? And if it's you, type that into the chat box right now. Say, I'm going to run my own town. That's it. Type it in there. I'm talking to you. Troy, are you out there? Is there anybody out there? Hello? Is there anybody out there? Out there in the cold, getting lonely, getting old. I'm going to run this town tonight. That's all you get today. All right, run this down. Of course, this is a shameless self-promotion for anything revolving a Ben Kinney company. And I'd like to ask you guys all to reach out to me on Twitter throughout the call today. Quote us, tweet us, comment, interact. Show us some love on Twitter. Let all the other people in the world know that are doing webinars that our audience is just as fun. Fun, F-U-N, as theirs are. At Ben Kinney. Throw it on Twitter. Should have already done it by now. Okay, as always, these calls are brought to you by our fun sponsors. That's what make all this amazing content, life-changing things free, and a little bit shameless and self-promotional since my homie Troy and I, we built Brivity, Cold Hard Cash, and our developers. And we built this tool called Brivity that'll change your life. Well, I don't even want to tell you how many. A lot of agents have signed up in the last 30 days, and it's changing their world. Top agents in the nation are using Brivity that you can think of. Sue Adler uses it at her listing presentations. Tim Heil, Matt Fedek, agents all over the nation that do millions of dollars are using this tool, so it could help you too. How Brivity works is you get tasks created for each one of your listings, each one of your pendings. You have tasks related to people, and those tasks show up right on your task board. When you log in, you see all the tasks that need to get done today, all the tasks that are overdue, any tasks that are upcoming or anything that's been completed. You simply check the box letting us know that it's been completed, and that task gets rolled up into an email that gets sent out to your clients that says, hey, congratulations, here's the 17 things that Ben did to get your property sold today. Are you kidding me? Do you guys know what the #1 complaint is from clients about real estate professionals? Hello? That we don't communicate. Brivity does it. Brivity does that. It communicates. And then at the bottom of that email, it says, hey, click here. And when they click here, they get brought to their property where they can access 24 hours a day. And they get to see a timeline of everything that you've done so far to get their property sold. They get to see all the places you're advertising it. I list all my competitive brokerages on there so they can click on the competitive brokers links, and it goes right to your property on those brokerage websites. It goes right to that property on Zillow and Truly and Realtor.com. Are you kidding me? List of all the tasks that you've done, every one of your staff members, everything that you're doing. It's called a transparency tool because we're transparent in everything that we offer. What? And it shows you all the showings. How many showings did you have? What was the feedback? What did the buyers think? How many people came to the open house? Sellers are going to love you. They're going to give you like 5 million referrals because they've never been treated like this. You don't get treated this well at a Four Seasons hotel. You know what I'm saying? And then in the background, it has all these other tools. It has a whole CRM where you can manage all your people, past clients, all your leads you're getting from your valuation sites, and you can market all your properties. With one click, you can post that property on Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or Google Plus or Craigslist or Active Rain. What? And you get a whole list of all the different times it's been viewed and where those properties were viewed. That's incredible. This is what, to be in all honesty, this is what allows me to have one person manage between 250 and 500 active listings at a time. One admin. Are you kidding me? And I have one admin that manages 150 pendings at any time, and sometimes 200. Just depends on the time of year. Do you get what I'm saying? One person does a lot because John Maxwell says that systems make the ordinary extraordinary. Are you kidding me? You guys need a system. You have ordinary staff and you want them to be extraordinary, give them a system. The system will do it. Brivity comes loaded with all my all my action plans, all the things that I do to market listings, all the things that we do to communicate with our clients. That's the pitch. To get Brivity and to get a copy of my listing presentation, our PDFs, our videos, and our lead conversion scripts, that's free. All you got to do is request a demo. If you're already a Brivity customer, which thousands of people on this call are, it's going to be loaded online for you under your Brivity account. You can access it through resources, so you can just download it. Sexy, huh? Sexy, huh? Answer me. Is that sexy? Are you kidding me? Woo! Now, we're going to be talking a lot about a couple of Relaunch products today. Relaunch made the seller sites. This is mine, sellerschallenge.com. If you want to look better than you do in real life, you need to get a seller website. This is the place that I send all my radio advertising to, my farming to. This is where it's like my online resume. Check mine out at sellerschallenge.com. Hey, if you want to see the best tool that's been created to generate listing leads in this market, this is submitmyhome.com. This is my personal website, submitmyhome.com, and we're averaging 15 to 20 seller leads every single day of the week from this with a very, very little budget. A little budget. Do you need more listings? Hello, type it in if you need some more listings. Hello? Hello? Are you there? Yeah, you need some more listings. So you need a home valuation site. What makes our site really ridiculous is when they fill in that first box, their address and their city, and they hit submit, you get emailed a lead. So if they don't even fill out the next contact form, you still know the address that they searched for. So what you do is you go into the MLS, you say, hey, is this address active? Is it an expired? Is it a canceled? You Google the address to see if it's a FSBO. You look to see if it's in your farming area. You look to see if it's your sphere. You look up their information in People Finders. You call them up and you say, hey, do you want to list your property? Are you curious what it was worth? Or they do the next step, which is they fill out the whole next form, and you got to come list me lead. Are you kidding me? You need this. You got to have that. Here's a dashboard of all the people that have been registered on my website. This is just on April 11th. If you get the idea, tons of leads coming in. They come here from pay-per-click, postcards, wherever, Facebook ads, whatever I decide to do that month. I'm a freak. I do lots of stuff. All right. And the last thing we'll talk about is city guides. And I'm going to go into the history of how this started. But if you want to be the owner of your town and you want to understand how to be the one person that represents not just real estate but everything, you need a city guide. Check out mine. Go to liveeverett.com. Live, L-I-V-E, everett.com. But I'm going to show you more how it works later. Okay. To get a demo of seller sites, valuation sites, city guides, or commercial sites, go to relaunch.com or call Brian, 255-1544. Emily, send that out to everybody so I can continue on with this call. We have lots of stuff to do today. Ask him for the Simple Seller Solution because you can get a bundled product of all the things that we offer for a cheap price. Okay, now we're back to run this down. Who's going to run this down tonight? And I'm telling you, it is going to be you. Now, who's on the screen right now? Who's on the screen? Everybody said me. Who is on the screen? Yeah, it's stinking Waldo. Where's Waldo? That's what I want your town to be like. People are walking around and they're like, gosh, I can't get rid of this Ben Kinney guy. He's like a stinking rash. He's growing on me over time, but everywhere I look, there he's at. There is he. Do you get it? You want to be the Where's Waldo in your town. In your town. Like Starbucks, you know what I'm saying? You go to Starbucks, you walk out the door, you take a right, and you're in another Starbucks. I think they should just connect them all. We could probably, with a 100-foot sidewalk, we could probably walk from here to New York City without going outside. There's so many Starbucks. Is that what your life's like? Is that what your town's like? Are you owning your town? Yeah. Well, what I want to happen is I want when people walk around the areas that I service, Western Washington, by the way, that all they do is they see me, no matter where they go. I'm thinking they're driving around town, they're seeing me. They're online, they see me. They're talking to people, they're talking about me in a positive way, I hope. They're in the bathroom, using the urinal, right, guys? They look up and boom, there you are. That's what I'm saying. No matter where they go, they're seeing you. That would be awesome. Wouldn't you agree? Hello? Are you guys there? Don't make me start singing Pink Floyd again. Shane, thank you for being the only person that typed in. Are you guys awake? Or are you guys on Facebook? Turn off Facebook. Don't want to. Yeah. We're back. We're back in the game now. Okay. In the beginning, let's go back in time when I was when I was skinny and relatively good looking, and I was getting into real estate. Let's talk about what that was like. For me, running my town in the beginning was a lead and a systems problem, but what happened is it evolved into being something much bigger. It evolved to being a people problem. So I want to show you what my life has been like for the last couple of years. So I kind of did real estate part-time for 4 months. No assistant, no help, none of that. And I didn't do anything. You know, I sold that 6 homes my first year. But my first full year in real estate, I was able to sell 25 properties. And then I went to 84. Then I went to 143. Then I went to 153. And then 278. Then 523. And then 489. And then 585 last year. And hopefully we're going to knock it out of the park this year and do a much bigger number. But how do we do that? Andy, that's funny. How do we do that? Well, I think a good agent can do about 25 sales a year. If you're a good agent out there, you should be able to wake up, actually work a full day, 8 hours by the way, and then 5 days a week sell 2 homes a month. If you can't do that, you should probably quit. You should go work at Best Buy. You know what I mean? Go be a title rep. Do something like that. But at somewhere around 24 properties a year, and some people, you guys are some, hey Rosie, sorry about the title rep comment, is somewhere between 25 and 50 properties a year, you're going to run out of time, energy. You're going to be getting home too late. Your wife's not going to recognize you, husband, partner, whatever you got going on at home. Your dog's going to hate you. He's going to show up your couch because he's so mad. Things are going to be falling apart. You aren't going to be getting back to all your clients. This is what I call the world sucks. So what you got to do is what I did is I hired an assistant. And with my amazing Jolene assistant, we hustled out 84 transactions. 84 transactions. Because she did all the stuff, and I had to do all the appointments, the calls, that sort of stuff. Do you get it? Now, even at that, that's what we capped out at because there's 2 of us. She's hustling the listings, marketing, doing the paperwork, helping me generate leads, and I'm driving people around going crazy. Now, what happened is that we decided to give up buyers first. So we hired a buyer's agent. And when we hired a buyer's agent, we went to 143 transactions. And what I thought there is I thought I was a genius. So what I did is I went out and I hired a whole bunch of buyer's agents. And we got a whole bunch of people on our team. We only sold 10 more properties than the year before. We made less money. I had less time. And what happens there is I hired the suck. Do you guys know what I'm saying? What happens when you hire the suck? It sucks the holy life out of you. It sucks the fun out of your job. It sucks your energy. The only thing it doesn't suck away is your body fat, because all it did was make me fatter. You know what I'm saying? The reason is because I hired a bunch of people instead of a bunch of great people. So what we had to do is we had to go back and rethink our plan, Jolene and I, and say, hey, how do we change our life around? And we had to start focusing on quality, not quantity, quality. How do we get quality buyer's agents, people that are willing to prospect and work hard and show up in the morning for scripts? None of these babies that have excuses all the time and are always, you know what I mean, slackers, the suck. Get rid of the suck in your life. Because when we got rid of the suck, boom, we went to 280 deals a year, 280. Now, after that, what we had to do is we had to keep growing our business, and we had to give up listings. I couldn't be doing it anymore. I had to focus on hiring more great people away from my partner's real estate companies in town and my other friends' companies in town. We had to go hire great people. Great people. So we hired a listing agent, and with the listing agent, we went up to over 500 transactions. So now we're thinking, hey, how do we have a bigger life? How do we really run this town at a higher level? Well, we got to get to more transactions. So the question mark for us is, what can we do in our lives so that we can run our area of Washington State and do at least 1,000 transactions? Well, the answer for us is more locations, the expansion. So our team right now exists in Bellingham, Everett, East Side, which is Kirkland and Bellevue, you know, where all the Microsoft rich people are, Seattle, Tacoma, And once we're done with that, once we're doing an amazing job in those areas, it'll be time for us to expand our team into other states. But as my hunting partner Tim says, always look close before you look far. There's diamonds in your own backyard, Gary Keller tells me. So I'm trying to pick those up first, and then I'll go far. But you can't go far until you own your own town, until you're running your own area. Once you're doing that, you get to take your life to the next level. You realize that this model on the screen right now, there will be agents that do this at a level that will be greater than the value of the real estate companies you work for. And some of you work for the top 5 companies. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. I'm talking about people selling $1 billion worth of real estate because they're expanding their team in other areas. Whoa. And to do that, you got to have systems. Well, what I say is you got to have mass domination. Mass domination. Sounds naughty. I'm not talking about leather and whips. I'm talking about owning your town. And to own your town, what I'm saying is you got to be found offline. Where are they going to find you offline? You might say. Where? Well, they're going to find you because you have a lot of signs in the ground. They're going to find you because your flyers are amazing. They're going to find you in newspapers and magazines, you know, the things you read when you're at the teriyaki restaurants. They're going to see you maybe on TV, in the movie theater. You guys should go to the movies in Bellingham. You see the worst commercials in the world. Those are mine, by the way. Postcards, because you're mailing areas, farming areas. Newsletters, because you're farming still. Letters to specific people. You're sponsoring things, community events, nonprofits. You have your advertisements in your business as being found inside other people businesses. Whoa. You have moving trucks or cars in town driving around with your information on it. You're hosting events like the amazing home race that we hosted, or come see Jay Papasan talk about his new #1 best-selling book, The One Thing. We rented out a theater and had 1,000 people come to it. Or when we had Gary Vaynerchuk come speak for the community and we covered all the costs. You're giving out tchotchkes. Tchotchkes. I never knew that's how you spelled tchotchkes. I had to Google it. But tchotchkes, magnets, cups, T-shirts. You know what I mean? For some reason it goes 13, 14, 11, 12. I'm an idiot. Networking, work in your sphere. That's what you're doing. You are being found everywhere that you can offline. Now you're also going to be found online everywhere. Google, Facebook, profiles, pages, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, Foursquare, Yelp, Zillow reviews, Truly, Active Rain, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Craigslist, Angie's List. It's Craig's baby. That's where you're going to get found. Online. All these places. Did you write all that list down? Is it all written down already? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. What happens is that leads are captured. We do all these things offline and online so that we can send them somewhere. Almost all of your offline advertising is going to be sent to an online destination. They're going to be sent to your buyer site, to your IDX. That'd be like your market leader, your Boomtown, your Real Geeks website, you know, the cool IDX products that are out there. They're going to send them to your home valuation website, you know, your submitmyhome.com one, if you know what I'm saying. Your seller site, this is your online resume, or you're going to send them to a phone number, but the phone number's got to call capture. You got to be able to capture those numbers and work them over time. Okay. Now what I want to talk to you guys about before we get all knees deep into the nuts and bolts of this call is mass domination for free. It is my favorite 4-letter word. How many people on the call today like free stuff? Yeah, there's a lot of cheap people on the call. That's what I'm talking about. You guys. Okay. What I don't mean, well, I do mean a little bit of this stuff is free, I do mean a little bit of this stuff is free. Hey, Emily, you're listening to me out there on the call. Make sure that you and Raksha are hitting the chat thing like we talked about. Make sure all of our people's questions are answered, and you guys got the links to everything that you need. Now, free. I'm talking about two types of free. One, it doesn't cost you any money, which is cool. And number two, you get somebody else to pay for it, so it's free for you. Free for you. Okay, this is what I mean. Before I get into that, I need to give you guys a little bit of a legal disclosure. Understand that anything I might say may be not applicable to local, state, and national laws, and I encourage you to research all laws and make sure that you don't do anything to put yourself in trouble. Now, understanding RESPA. The Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, RESPA, is a consumer protection statute. First passed in 1974, the purpose of the RESPA is to help consumers become better shoppers for settlement services and to eliminate kickbacks and referral fees that unnecessarily increase the cost of certain settlement services. RESPA requires borrowers to receive disclosures at various times, blah, blah, blah. RESPA also prohibits certain practices that increase the cost of settlement services. RESPA prohibits a person from giving or accepting anything of value for referrals of settlement services or business related to federally related mortgage loans. It also prohibits a person from giving or accepting any part of a charge for services that are not performed. Whoa. Okay. Here's what really matters. RESPA. If the settlement occurs after the settlement, it's generally not considered a settlement service. Settlement services include the following. It's really any services that a settlement service provider requires a buyer to pay, settlement service provider, real estate agents, mortgage people, title escrow, before or at closing. Those would include, but not limited to, real estate broker, title insurance, mortgage people, services related to origination, processing, funding, mortgage loans, attorneys, document preparations, notary, credit reports, inspections, hazard, flood, or other insurance. If you guys need this information, Google RESPA. RESPA. Okay. Now back to why I'm talking to you guys about this. There's lots of people that have nothing to do with RESPA laws that can help fund your real estate business. How many people here would like other people to help fund the marketing of their real estate business? Yeah, type it in there. That's what I'm saying. All right, the way you do that, peoples, is you create a vendor advertising program. A vendor advertising program. Here is my vendor advertising program. It goes from crystal, like this is crystal clear, to bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and ladies, diamonds are forever, so that is the highest one. And this is where vendors in our community and nationally will pay us between $25 and $3,000 per month. Per month. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. Now, my friends, not naming names, and myself at times will make somewhere between $240,000 and $500,000 a year in vendor advertising. All the amounts are on the screen. You can see how much is it a month. $25, $100, $250, $500, $1,000, $3,000. What? Okay. You got to be careful who you're talking to. Mortgage people have rules they have to follow, title and escrow for sure, even your home inspector. There's a limited, there is things that they can pay you for as long as it's in line with the value of the services provided. It's why in our vendor advertising program, we have a whole list of things that we'll do for them. Now, what my thoughts is that we gotta give a lot of value. I'm not talking about taking money away from people in our community. I'm talking about how if they worked with me, we together would make more money than we ever could apart. It's about me bringing value to their lives and them bringing values to my clients, to my business. Now, people are going to pay to be a part of a few things. Number one, your city guide. This is why a city guide is so stinking important. Within 1 month of getting a city guide set up in Austin, one of my favorite agents, Tim, is bringing in $3 grand a month. $3,000 a month. Print advertising, coupons, on listing advertising, or in listing inside the house, in office advertising, online websites, and on your social sites, Pinterest, Twitter, the Facebooks. Number 6, in your emails that you send out or access to your database and into live events. All of these things combined, hello? All of these things combined are what people are going to pay to access. Now, if you could just bring in $1 grand a month, let's say that's 10 restaurants, each paying you $50 a month. If that math works out, I don't think it does. That'd be 20 restaurants. How would $1,000 be spent in your business? Could you generate more business? And if you could do things that drive people to those restaurants or to those other businesses, that would be huge, huge. Okay. Check your rules. Make sure you don't get in trouble. You don't want to do that. But as I'm going through today's information, what I want you to think about, how could some other vendor in the community be involved? And how much would they pay? Or what could I get in return that would be valuable? Like, for instance, I do a lot of things that say, hey, I don't necessarily need you to pay me anything, but how about you include me in your monthly email to your 5,000 customers, and I'll include you in mine. That's a like for like. That seems fair. Wouldn't you agree? Now, I'll dig into this the entire day today. We're going to be talking about vendor advertising and how that could help your business. So you're going to get examples, I promise. Okay. Be found offline. I'm talking about mass domination. How are we going to be found offline? Okay. The first thing we got to do is I want you guys to pay attention to work in your sphere. Your sphere is your highest and best source of business. So we got to have a sphere plan. So my sphere plan is called Get Your Sphere in Gear. This is how you're going to take a list of 200 people and make it a 200 grand a year income. Promise. If you can't do this, once again, quit. Don't be a title rep. I got in trouble for that comment. Go work at Best Buys, the Best Buys, which is where I'd work. Actually, REI or Best Buy, both those, or a gun shop. I really like guns too. One of those places I go work. Okay, get your sphere and gear plan. Here's my philosophy. Mine sphere and gear plan means that I strive daily to add value to the lives of my database. That includes my friends, my clients, my affiliates, and my vendors. Okay, so everything that I'm talking about in this sphere plan is about me striving daily to add what? Type that in there. Type it in the box now. Hello. Now. Value. Thank you. Value. So when you're thinking in your head, because you guys aren't working your sphere, I already know you're not. There's only one person on the call working your sphere, and you know who it is. Is you don't want to bother your friends and family. But what I'm saying is if you strive every day to add value to their lives, you're not bothering them. Let's talk about that. Inside Brivity, if you guys don't get this, there's a people function. In the people function on Brivity, you can set up people plans. These are plans that you add to individual people. And here's my Sphere in Gear plan, and I want you guys to pay attention. In fact, if you do anything, remember on the last call it said that if a person takes notes during a class or conference or a webinar, there are 14 points higher IQ. Remember, you still get 7 points higher IQ if you start writing right now. Okay, write this down. How do you work your Sphere in Gear? Okay, I get a new person into my database. First thing I do is I add them to my Happy Grasshopper plan. Or do screen captures. Yeah, thank you, Brian. I add them to my Happy Grasshopper plan. I'm going to tell you guys about that. Number 2, I complete the profile in Brivity, because some of us, sometimes all we have is the email address or their phone number, their name, or their address because they started out as a lead. I complete their profile. Number 3, I add into the Lowe's Realtor Benefits plans. I add into the Realtor's Lowe's plan, which means they email them 10% off coupons with my face on it. That's awesome. Okay, but here's my Sphere in Gear plan. I call everybody once a month, and Brivity will give me a reminder when I'm supposed to call those people. Number 2, I send bi-weekly Sphere emails. Bi-weekly. That means 2 a month. Number 3, I mail a monthly piece of something to them. Monthly. And then I touch them appropriately above the waist on social media. Oh, look, everybody. Chad Himes is on the call today. I love that guy. He's like my brother from another mother. Hi, Chad. Glad to see you on the call today. And then I schedule quarterly visits. I schedule quarterly visits. Okay, you add all those things up, what it is that's like 63 touches in a year. That doesn't include the Lowe's or the Happy Grasshopper stuff. Chad, see, the Happy Grasshopper sends it out twice a month, so don't be telling me that I'm a wimp. I just have Happy Grasshopper do half of my work, so I don't have to think up content every month. Are you kidding me? Chad, quit yelling at me. That's a lot of touches, people. As Chad would say, that's more touches than a what? Type that into the box, you get extra credit. Yeah. An MJ video, people. An MJ video. Okay. All right, so we grab the people, we slam them in Brivity. Ken from Brivity, he's the brains, the mastermind, the guy that sits in the dark all night typing in the screen along with Andy. The geniuses, what they do is they're adding the import feature so you can dump a whole bunch of people in there. So hold on that. Quit complaining. Okay, so we put the people in the database. I put notes. I add a picture. I grab it online because I'm kind of a freak. I put their contact information. I put the birth dates, marital statuses, anniversaries. I link up to their online presences, their Facebooks, their Twitters, their Pinterests, their addresses, etc. I update their contact information, make sure that I have it all there. Boom! And then we're going to go through our tips. When working your Sphere, you be brief. Nobody likes long messages, long letters, long emails. Always include an item of value because we strive daily to bring what to people's lives? Print, email, social media. Everything I do includes a link to either my buyer site, my seller site, my home valuation page, 2 of the 3, or all 3. Everything that I do has a link to what, people? Everything that I do has a link to what? To my tool. Yeah, to my tool. And then, if I do put links in there, I use traceable links so I know where it came from, trackable URLs, and numbers that are different for the different source so that I can track what am I doing that actually works. Now, when I call them, into Brivity, I load the actual script. so that when you have the scripts in Brivity, when you click the call button, it pops up with the information so you know what to say. So this month when I make my call, I'm going to ask the real estate related plan script. I was just calling to see if that you might have any real estate related plans for the year. That's cool, right? So then if you have team members or staff or other people doing that, you just load the scripts right into the notes section. I know there's a typo. Thanks, Frank Kinney. Killing me. I'm not a very good typer. Okay. Then we mail them something monthly. And I give an example for my agents to use, because we use this on our team, right? Is we just give, hey, what are we going to send out this month? So we do, hey, client name. And then I could really use your help this month. I have a few families that are looking to move into the area, and there are literally no homes available for them. Who do you know that might be interested in selling so that I could help these families write a home or find a home before school starts? And we put this in a handwritten note or on a postcard. You know what I'm saying? All right. We mail them this sort of stuff monthly. Rip this off. It's going to work for you, I promise. Okay, we email them stuff too, but we always email them things of value. So I'm going to send them this thing that says, hey, I found this interesting article about, and then I'm going to put a trackable link there, like a URL shortener, you know what I mean? So I can know how many people clicked on it. And I thought you might appreciate it because, and then I write a reason personal to them. Now, the next one is, anyways, work is busy, the market is awesome, and I will be blank this weekend at this open house, at this event, at this whatever, from blank time. If you're in the area, come see me. The reason is because I want to visit everybody 4 times a year, and if I can get them to come to me, I sure will. That's cool, right? Hello? Isn't that cool? Oh, I'll wait all day. I got nothing to do. Type in yes. Yeah. And then what I do is I visit them. I visit them. And if you guys know me well, like you're one of my friends on the call, my doormat says go away. I'm not really a visit you people. You could knock on my door. I wouldn't even turn around to see you're there. Because if you're a friend of mine, you just come in. I'm not very social. So what I do is I just try to come up with ways where I could be social in the least amount of time possible. So I schedule coffee, tea, lunches. I invite them to come see me in the office. But we also do events like annual parties. Come to the movie theater on us, and I'll be there and say hi, shake hands, kiss babies, that kind of stuff. Hey, come into the office and pick up a pie 2 days before Thanksgiving. Come to the office the week before Easter and pick up some hard-boiled eggs and some egg dye stuff. Come close to 4th of July and click up watermelons. You have everybody come in the same day. Everybody RSVPs to be there. They show up. You hand them the pumpkin, whatever you're giving them. You get a picture with them. You share it on your fan page. You email it out, a big collage of everybody that came in. You get to love everybody for $3 at a time. Imagine, gentlemen, if you could get love in $3 at a time, how your life would change. That was funny, wasn't it? You just love them. You just love on them. Get them to come to you. Work your sphere in a whole new way. Okay, next one is social media. This is where we're touching them every month. We're going to visit our sphere via social networks. We're going to comment on them, their stuff. We're going to like what they're doing. We're going to endorse them. We're going to favorite them. We're going to retweet them. We're going to mention them. We're going to comment them. We're going to record important information into the user profile. Hey, what did I learn about this person? This person just had a baby. They just bought a puppy. They just got a new job. They just blah, blah, blah. So when I'm making my phone calls, I can talk about what I learned from social media. What I'm doing on this, guys, is I'm not talking to them on social media, like from my profile or from my fan page. What I'm doing is I'm going to their page and just researching them and comment and showing them that I'm there. What I want to do is I just want them to see me, because I do what to this town? Yeah, Charlie, I run this town. Sorry, Troy, you don't run this town. Now, the next thing I do is I like to get some auto things. How many people on the call are lazy? like me, lazy. I like to automate things, but you can't automate. Troy just said he owns more real estate than me. That's actually true. That's funny. Thank you, Troy. I automate things. I like to get things working for me so that only half of the things that I do are actual hard work. So like half of the pieces of mail that I send out are postcards or letters that I can populate, and then the other half are handwritten cards, Christmas cards, that kind of stuff. Same with the emails. Half I write every other week, and the other half I have Happy Grasshopper do for me. Happy Grasshopper is sick. It's ridiculous. What I do is I put everybody in my database in there, current clients, past clients, everybody. For something like, I don't know how cheap it is. It's stupid cheap. It's like $19 a month. They'll email good content. I don't have to research it to all my people. Are you kidding me? Hello? That's awesome. Now, I reached out to Dan because I know the CEO there. By the way, he doesn't pay me anything for this plug. I said, Dan, I want to give my people something for free and show them how it works. So he sent this to me, and I have an example of what they send out. Hey, I just saw Starbucks is offering a $7 cup of coffee. Now be warned, it's not a latte with 7 shots like Troy drinks, and it doesn't come with a sandwich. It's called the Costa Rica Finca Palmerera, or something like that, and it's really just an expensive cup of coffee. I'm just sending out fun information because I want them to like me, appreciate me, but mostly I just want to be in front of them. I just want them to see me. Dan, I need to add my home valuation site onto my signature there. I forgot to do that. You guys get what I'm saying? Touches. They think of, boom, that's all we do. Okay, if you guys want to get Happy Grasshopper, go to happygrasshopper.com/Ben, and he's going to give you some money off. And I don't get any money for this, I promise. I'm not turning you guys into my vendor advertising program. But Dan, we should talk about that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a good product, and I appreciate it. I love him. Not sexually, but I do appreciate him in a romantic, cuddly way. Now, the other thing that we do that's kind of a cool Spear and Gear program is we put everybody in the Lowe's Realtor Benefits Plan. The Lowe's Realtor Benefit Plans, as soon as I meet somebody, listing, buyer, past clients, database, I throw them in there because Lowe's will send them 10% off coupons directly to them that say, from Ben, here's 10% off. That's nice. How many people that you've sold a home to could use 10% off of Lowe's? Or the people that have their home listed and you're like, you need to fix that carpet. You know what I'm saying? You need to fix that carpet. It smells worse than my dog's rear. And they can go into Lowe's and boom, 10% off. That's awesome. That's awesome. These are just automatic ways to keep touching. So you add all those things together. People are getting touched 100 times a month or a year. I don't know. It's a lot. And they're never going to forget you. And you're bringing them value. You're making them laugh. You're sending them good information. They're going to help you build a business. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I don't think there's any. Lowe's Realtor Benefits Plan is free. And I think Happy Grasshopper, Dan's not really the contract guys, I think. I don't think he has any contract. I think you just pay $20 a month or something, or $29. Depends on how many people you have in there. I don't know. It's cheap. Quit being cheap. Sign up for it. All right. The next thing we got to do is we got to figure out a farming plan. And since I'm not much of a farmer, what I did is I ripped off another agent. There's this agent out there. His name's Kenny Kloss. Kenny Kloss has a plan for farming that I thought was awesome, so I just ripped it off. Kenny Kloss created the CLME designation. That's CLME.com. And I think if you mention my name, they'll give you $100 or $200 off their designation. All I did was rip him off, and literally it's the thing that's going to get my business from 600 to 800 deals. Farming the entire city of Bellingham is my plan. Entire city of Bellingham. Okay, so how do you do it? Well, you got to select a farm. First thing you do is you pick the right location. The right location has to have the right turnover rate, the right price point. It has to have a competition that you're willing to compete against, or little competition. And it has to have the right return on your investment. You're going to have to know how many How many deals am I have to do a year to get paid back on my farm? The way that we farm at a very affordable level, we use the EDDM website. That's Every Door Direct. When you do Every Door Direct, like Kenny Kloss will teach you in CLME, what happens is you can mail entire areas for the postage, I think is 13.9 cents or 16 cents. 16 cents to the door. If you work in a rural area, for instance, Jenna, you would send out, you just pick carrier routes and you're farming rural areas. You're farming 5-acre pieces. That's fine, because all it does is it charges you per door. So you're going to mail for 14 cents postage to the door. Are you kidding me? That's awesome. Emily, send them the EDDM website so they can check this out so they know it's for real. Then you pick an area and you consistently mail them over the time. There's other things that you got to do in your farm. I mean, you're not just mailing them. You're going to send mail like postcards and new letters. You're going to call them. What we use mojocells.com, and you go into Mojo Cells and you pick a neighborhood, and it'll pull all the phone numbers into a dialer, and you can just call through that entire neighborhood. So don't farm if the only thing you're going to do is mail them, because that's lazy. Don't be lazy. We're going to have on-site things, like that's where we're going to host our open houses or sponsor our events or have, larger signs put up. We're going to host events there. We're going to teach classes for that area. We're going to work this area. You're going to be owning. Before you own your town, you got to own an area. Start with owning a street or a neighborhood of 500 and then move it up. Right now we're farming 22,000 homes in Bellingham. Everybody check out the chat box on your GoToWebinar app. We've been sending you links the entire time, and you'll see the Every Door Direct link. Emily sent it to you. It's right there for you. Mojo Cells, I don't think I get a discount, but you could ask them for it. I'd say, hey, I want the Ben Kinney discount and see what they do. Deborah, I don't know if that works or not, but they're awesome. And then we send mail marketing. Now, here's an example of the actual newsletter that we send out in April. That'd be this month. We sent out a newsletter that was about, hey, what's happening? What are the events that are going on? We sent a letter inside there that says, hey, your home may be worth more than you think. And we talked about the new farmers market is now open. And we talk about the new featured restaurant. You guys, do you think this newsletter is sexy? Sexy? We mail this to people, but we can email it to them as well. We mail this to people, including postage and printing. It's 25 cents. 25 cents to the door. I send an 8-page newsletter, including postage, to 22,000 people for 25 cents. But that 25 cents isn't mine. That includes printing, Kristen. It's not, it's everything. Printing, sorting, collating, everything. But I don't even pay for it because we have sponsors. Do you understand the vendor advertising program? Then you go to the next page and you get to see the letter from me. Hey, my home is worth what? And at the end of the letter, do you see I send them to my home valuation site? Go to Submit My Home to see what your home is worth because I want to capture leads. And then I put market stats about what's going on in the neighborhood. So then, it's funny, they all assume that those are ones that I sold. They're just market stats from the MLS. We sold a lot of them, but maybe not in that neighborhood. Okay? This is Kenny Kloss's CLME plan. The dude's a genius. You guys gotta learn from that dude. He's a freak. Okay, and then I put an ad in there, another big ad. Go see what your home is worth by going to my home valuation website. Spring is in the air. Would you like to know what your home is worth? Go to submitmyhome.com. I'm just trying to show you guys how everything that I'm telling you about all works together. This is like a recipe for paella. And it all seems like the shrimp and prawns and tomatoes and spices shouldn't be together, but when it comes together, it's boom! It's the best thing you've ever eaten. And then on the back, we put ads. And then in the center, we put ads. And you can either charge people to be there, or you can give it away for free in exchange because they send you a lot of business. It's a way to work your sphere. It's up to you. It's up to you. Now, we send them all to our home valuation site, submitmyhome.com. Remember, that's the relaunch thing that I told you about, Emily. Hit that out. Or I send them to my seller site. And the reason I send them to the seller site as opposed to the home valuation is the seller site stuff is when I'm sending them to talk about actually listing their property. The home valuation is where I'm just sending there, if they aren't ready to list, I still want to get them in my database. And you notice that what happens is the title of my newsletter matches the name of my city guide. So the city guide is meant to be kind of like, hey, this touch uh, of a non-real estate related website. And the newsletter also is non-real estate related, but when they open it, I'm all over the place in different ways. That's crazy. Yeah, it's all about consistent branding all over the place. There's lots of other online farming tools you need to think about. Maybe you could do pay-per-click advertising, fan pages and social media, featured businesses, videos and photos. I'm talking about Foursquare, all these different things that you could do to make sure you're seen all over the place. Okay. Now we're talking about mass domination online. Mass domination online is where you're going to be found in these places: Google, Facebook profiles, Twitter pages, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, Foursquare, Yelp, Zillow reviews, Trulia, Active Rain, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Craigslist, and Craigslist's daughter, Angie's List. If you want to be found online, the first thing you got to do is you got to evaluate, hey, where are you at today? What are your businesses like online? So what I do is I use a couple tools. The first one I use is HubSpot's Marketing Grader. Emily, this one's at getlisted.org. Getlisted.org, and you can see what your website is like. And what they do is they give your website a grade, and they give you recommendations on things that you can do to improve that website. So you'll do this for your city guide, you'll do this for your real estate site, and you'll do this for your seller site, you'll do it for your home valuation site, to make sure that your website is powerful. Then you can do the same thing and measure what is your social presence like. You can use tools like Twitter Counter, and on Twitter Counter, it'll evaluate how many tweets you're getting, interactions, retweets, favorites, followers, how many people are coming and going. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, and the last one is awesome. And I think this is the actual one that's at getlisted.org. I think I messed that up, Emily. I'm sorry. This one's the MOZ Local. And MOZ Locals helps you figure out, helps search engines and new customers find your business online in other areas. Super slick, cool. Tool. I want you guys to check this out. One of the coolest things I've found lately. What it does is I put in a website, one of our real estate sites, and it gives me a score. And then it gives me recommendations on how I can improve my website. It's on Google+. It's on Foursquare. It's on Facebook. I have nothing going on Yelp for that particular website. It's not on Super Pages. And it goes through each one of these different sites and gives me a review to know what's going on. That's cool. You guys got to know where you're at today. Okay. Once you generate a whole lot of leads, you're going to need to convert them. Position Me is a tool that I use to convert leads. It's one that Dan created at Happy Grasshopper. Just check it out if you want to learn a little bit about Position Me. We'll probably talk about it some more on another call. Okay. In the beginning, the lead path. How did it work for me online? Well, the first thing we did is we understand that leads are captured in these 4 places: buyer sites, home valuation sites, seller sites, and call capture. But I had to sit back, and I remember I was sitting in the restroom going potty, number 1 or number 2, is it pee or is it poo? I don't remember, to be honest. And I was going potty, and I was just sitting there thinking to myself, how am I going to find some business? And this is 2004 when I don't have much business at all. And I said, if I was a buyer thinking about buying a home in Bellingham, what would I do first? And you know, my initial thought was, well, I'd grab a real estate book, or I'd maybe look for properties. But I was wrong. I was wrong. That isn't what they do. The first step in moving is they research, they dream, they plan, and then after they're done with those three things, they start searching for properties. They start searching for properties. Okay, what do they search for? Well, I believe they search for a lot of things before they start searching for real estate. They're going to search for what they're going to eat, drink, sleep, work, what they're going to do for fun, maybe who they're going to breed with, dating information, so to speak. They search for all these things. So in the very beginning, the very first website that I created was my city guide, livebellingham.com. And if you guys go to livebellingham.com, you can see it's still on the old design. It's getting switched over to our new design because it has better tools. Now, it cost me nearly $250,000 to build all the live sites when I first started. And I paid for that in a couple of years on all the leads that we got, but we spent a lot of money because the technology wasn't there in the beginning. But Live Bellingham still gets between 5,000 and 10,000 unique visitors every month that are typing in terms related to Bellingham. There's a book that came out called The Long Tail, and it's by Chris Anderson. And Chris Anderson taught us about the long tail truth. And the long tail truth says that 10% of the keywords used online will only represent 20% of the available traffic. Therefore, all the rest of the words out there, phrases that people type into Google and Bing and Yahoo, they'll represent 80% of the available traffic. 80% of the available traffic. Wow. So a short tail phrase would be like Bellingham real estate. And or Bellingham homes, Bellingham condos, Bellingham foreclosures, those sort of things. But the long tail are all the less commonly searched phrases. The Bellingham waterfront homes or Birch Bay View condos, those sort of phrases. So what I did is I installed this software into my website, to my city guide, Live Bellingham, and it's called HitTail. And they said that my top 10 keywords were 19.6% of my traffic. 19.6% of all your traffic. The long tail keywords was 80% of my traffic. That was 51,642 different phrases that people typed in to get to my city guide. 51,642 different phrases that people typed in to get to my city guide. Are you kidding me? And the most popular ones, those are the hardest ones to rank in the search engines, were hard for me to get. And they gave me 20% of my traffic. That was 2,000 visitors a month. But 8,000 visitors a month came from these things, the long phrases, Bellingham hikes, Bellingham things to do, property management in Bellingham, houses for rent in Bellingham, Bellingham kids, Bellingham rentals, Bellingham wild nightlife, restaurants in Bellingham, Bellingham casinos, Bellingham bars. You see how everybody on this list should be advertising with you? What? Do you get it? Bellingham spas, Bellingham nightclubs, hiking in Bellingham again, restaurants, bat caves, Coconut Kinney's, Bellingham Marina, Bellingham, Washington, Bellingham hiking trails, Shrimp Shack, nightlife in Bellingham. There's lots of things about bars. Apparently a lot of people eat and drink a lot here. That's crazy. All these people are typing in these different phrases to get here. That's crazy. So what we did is we rebuilt the city guides. And the city guides, check out liveeverett.com, are a place where people can see things like galleries, restaurants, employment, museums, theaters, nightlife, clubs, bars, singles events, mortgages, foreclosures, shopping, neighborhoods, charities, churches. And then on the side, you notice that there's banner ads, links that go to our home valuation site, to our restaurants page, to search homes in the area. Isn't this website pretty? Type it in. Is it pretty? Pretty? Is it pretty? And what we do is that we put a little bit of unique content on each page. And we have college students either do it for free as interns or for a cheap per article, and they post it. And then we create individual pages where, of course, I'm the featured real estate agent because it's my website. And then I feature a mortgage company. And then on all the other pages, we'll feature other businesses too, like restaurants. And the people that are featured pay a fee to be featured there. You could do this for every different niche. Below that are all the other businesses, and we auto-fill in every one of the businesses for you. All the barbecue restaurants, all the sushi restaurants, all the call rentals, all the hotels, all that kind of stuff, and you just go sell the sponsored ads on top or hire a college intern or a kid to go do it for you. That's it. That's all you do. And then you turn this into a big business. The city guides are really good for three solid reasons. Number one, you want to work your sphere, and you want to give them a place to advertise for free on. Number two, you want to generate money to pay for all your marketing, and you can sell advertising on the city guides. Number three, you want a resource to send all your buyers, all your sellers, all the clients in the area to research what's going on, so you don't have to type up something new every time they ask you about what hotels to stay at or what restaurants to stay at or any of those things. And I'd say the fourth one, I forgot to say four, would be you want to dominate the search engines for those long tail phrases like hotels and sushi restaurants and jobs. We actually populate jobs in there for you, book a hotel, all that's done. Crazy, huh? All right. The next way that we dominate online is by doing things through social media. On Brivity, it creates these Facebook posts, Twitter posts, Pinterest posts, Google+, Craigslist, Active Rain, all those things automatically. So in one click, you can do it. But what you got to do is you got to go to those places and you got to create profiles. So everybody, are you still there? Are you still listening? Hello? Type in if you are. Okay. If you're still listening, a lot of us have our Twitter accounts. It'd be like mine would be @BenKinney. I use that for all the other things that I do, and I don't want to fill that with just listing posts. So what I did is I put a Ben Kinney team Twitter account, and I post all my listings on that. So this is the separate Twitter account. This is @BenKinneyTeam, and I'll go there and I'll post all of our listings. Okay. So then I can separate the conversations that I'm having with my friends and with people in the industry and the other stuff from the two accounts. I don't want to spam my sphere. My sphere connected on my main account, and then other people, if they connect to this, they can. Then I do the same thing on Pinterest. I have my own Pinterest account, but then I created a Pinterest business page for my team, and there I create boards for the different types of properties. A Ben Kinney listing, a Ben Kinney waterfront listing, a Ben Kinney new construction home, a Ben Kinney land listing, a Ben Kinney business listing, all those sort of things. Cool, huh? And what I noticed this morning when I was making this webinar for you guys is all these people are already talking about my websites on Pinterest. Right down there, Viola says she pinned a property from my website. And then she says, hey, it's finally mine. I got the keys earlier Wednesday or Thursday, and I was able to go in there and comment and congratulate her. People already are pinning your stuff on Pinterest from your website or from your Brivity posts, from all those things. They're already starting a conversation about your properties. The more properties you can get to Brivity or to Pinterest, the more they're going to get pinned. That'll be huge. Okay. The next thing you do is you got to have an Active Rain account, and Brivity creates an automatic Active Rain post for each one of your listings. You just click the button, copy it, post it in there. And I put each one of my listings on my Active Rain profile because they do so well in the search engines. When people type in those phrases, it's going to show right up. It's super powerful. And my homie Bob Stewart, I think, is on the call today. A lot of you guys probably know Bob Stewart. Bob Stewart's a star at Active Rain. Active Rain just moved over all their content to activerain.trulia.com. Cool move. Give both of them some more search engine credibility and get our listings and blog posts found faster. I'd make sure that you're posting every one of your listings there. What I'm talking about is I'm talking about owning everything online. Everything online, no matter where somebody goes. You own it. You own Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Google itself, Google Local, Google Images, Google Videos, Foursquare. By the way, if you're on Foursquare, hit me up. Give me a friend request today. All those things. Okay. Once again today, if you guys want to get Dan's deal, go to happygrasshopper.com/Ben and he'll give you a deal. He told me he would. And if you want to check out Brivity or request a demo, remember you get my listing presentation, my scripts, anything else you guys want. If you do demos of Brivity, we'll give you what you want. Go to Brivity.com. We have a couple demo spots open today. Or call the number 855-427-4848 to request a demo of Brivity. And if you want to check out some of the tools we talked about today, the seller site, the valuation, the city guides, the commercial sites, request a demo by calling this number. Now, what I'm going to do is on the 16th of May, I'm going to do a call called 0 to $1 Million. And I'm bringing on a couple of rock stars, I mean people that make $1 million that did it in a few years in the business, to talk with me along with some of my training about what they're doing to survive in their different markets using some of their own tools, some of our tools, and some of their own tactics that will blow you away. I'll announce who the calls are in the email that we send out to you guys, but it's called 0 to $1 Million. It's going to be Friday the 16th at 9 a.m. Appreciate you guys being on the call today. As always, I hope you guys check out Brivity and Relaunch and visit our friends over at Happy Grasshoppers. I hope you enjoy these calls. In the email that we send out, we'll send you recordings to the last couple calls that we've done, including my listing presentation and lead conversion. Hope you guys are loving this information. I hope you come back. I had fun today. I hope you guys did. Did you guys enjoy today? Hello? And before you guys end the webinar, do me a favor. Just type in what you would like to see future calls about. And Emily, make sure you copy that down because I want to just figure out what should these next calls be about. I have lots of ideas, but I want to give you guys an opportunity to request topics. So what topics would you guys like to see in the next calls? Write it down, type it into the chat box for me, and Emily's going to record it so we can get those done. Okay? We have lots of good ideas coming in. Thank you guys for today. Have fun, and I'll see you next time.